Here we are looking at the NBA's regular season standings at this point of the 2023-24 season. You can sense a general trend between the top few teams in the East and West conferences. The marquee star best players in the league are leading their teams to victory. Most of the best players statistically are having really good seasons as a team on their respective teams. So that's very encouraging. We can't accuse them of being a ball hog. We can't call them a career cancer. They're a role model and a proven winner. You can see which teams I'm referencing. I'll list them. Obviously, you can tell just by seeing. But if you look at teams like the Boston Celtics with Jason Tatum, the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis Antetokounmpo, the 76ers with Joel Embiid to a lesser extent, the Indiana Pacers with Tyrese Halliburton, the Denver Nuggets have Nikola Jokic, the Dallas Mavericks have Kyrie Irving and especially Luka Doncic. Timberwolves have a newer guy, Anthony Edwards, who's really coming into his own, and the Golden State Warriors obviously have Steph Curry. Those players are among the best players in the whole league right now, so it's definitely an exciting time to watch basketball. If you don't know too much about the league, because if you knew hardly anything about it, you would know some of those players' names by now. Let's go to the stats leaders in the NBA right now. So click on stats and leaders from that drop-down menu. And yeah, you could see Joel Embiid's leading the league in scoring as of this minute. Only 9 games into the season. Luka Doncic is number 2. And if you saw last season, he had a monster season statistically, but his team didn't do that well. So it sort of kept them shut out of being at the upper echelons, the very, very most upper echelons of MVP consideration. Donovan Mitchell is actually number 3 in scoring, which is good because I'm a Cleveland Cavs fan, as well as a Celtics fan, and I like the Milwaukee Bucks too. So it's definitely encouraging to see Donovan Mitchell play so well. He's one of my favorite players to watch. Steph Curry is number 4, and rounding out the top 5 rather is Kevin Durant. He's at number 5 with 29.3 points per game. Look a little further, you see Nikola Jokic, who was second place in MVP consideration last season. Jason Tatum, who was 4th at 28.4 points per game and 29.1 points per game to Jokic. And Anthony Edwards is in the top 10 at number 9. If you scroll down to number 16 and 15, you find LeBron James and Giannis Antetokounmpo at 24.4. So obviously they're a little bit further off, but I mean, still pretty good points per game. But I mean, for a guy like Giannis, maybe he would want to pick that up a little bit. I know he has a new team to adjust to. A lot of the offensive load has been taken off his shoulders, and his team's doing pretty damn well so far. So it'll be interesting to see how well he does in the scoring category by the end of the season. LeBron's not too far off of his career average, but these days people tend to score a little bit more than back then. Not to every extent, but to some extent. Definitely. I mean, we all remember seasons where James Harden would average 36.9, Kobe would average 35, Iverson 33, Jordan 37. So we're not seeing that this year, but still extremely exciting nonetheless. Now let's go to rebounds. League leaders in rebounds. So you can see Rudy Gobert is leading statistically in rebounds per game, but Jokic is at number 2 with 12.9. If you look at number 3, DeAndre Ayton, number 4, Domantas Sabonis, number 5, Mitchell Robinson, You have a Laker at number 6, Anthony Davis at 12.0 rebounds per game. Embiid's number 9 on this list at 10.9. You saw last season, he really did have to outpace the rest of the league in scoring to win MVP last season. He won last season. Jokic won the seasons before that, 2 seasons in a row before last season where Embiid won MVP. So looks like it could be a possible finals matchup between those two teams and cities and players early on. Yeah, that sounds exciting, and we would all love to see it. Definitely looks very interesting. If you look at number 15, Jason Tatum's averaging 9.7 rebounds in 15th place. He's really upped his rebounds this season, and that's definitely going to play a factor in MVP consideration. He's definitely near the top in points per game and rebounds per game. But if you go to the next category, assists, you can start to see where Nikola Jokic is pulling ahead of everybody else in MVP consideration, at least this week. Yes, the Philadelphia 76ers haven't played as many games as the Denver Nuggets just yet, but I mean, both two teams have only one loss so far. So you can see Jokic is number 7 in assists right now. So he's in the top 10 in points, assists, and rebounds. That's definitely the pedigree of an MVP. He's won it before, so he knows what to do to win the MVP award. So do other players like, say, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Joel Embiid. So it'll be interesting to see who actually wins it at the end of the season, or who wins the play-in tournament, who wins the regular season and who wins the NBA Finals, and who wins the Finals MVP. That's all stuff to look forward to. I'm a huge basketball fan. I've always watched since I was very young. So stuff like this is interesting to me. If you look further down the list, see guys like Dennis Schroeder, who won the MVP of the FIBA World Cup. He's at number 6. And you'll see Tyrese Haliburton at the top, statistically at 11.9 assists per game. So he might not be the highest scoring player, but I mean, he's still leading full out in one category. Let's go to points again. And scrolling down to where Tyrese Haliburton's at, he's at 22.9 points per game. So yeah, not the offensive powerhouse that some of the other players are, but he's still a pretty damn good player. So it's good to see that the Pacers are in the mix. They're definitely a team that's never won a finals before. So if they do play better, it'll definitely be exciting to watch. But I'm going to leave y'all with that. I don't want to say too much. Thank you for listening to me rant and rave about the NBA. Tyler from Ohio, over and out.